Hi, I'm Luz DeBay, and I love to talk about movies 24/7. I've been fascinated with films as long as I can remember, and I upload weekly. Due to personal reasons and a lot of life stuff, I haven't posted in almost a month, so sorry about that, but I'm finally getting back to posting. So I missed a lot of movies that I wanted to review, so I'm just going to do it all in one. I'm going to do like a movie catch-up video, and I'll be ranking the movies as well as we go along. Coming in at number 7, Murder Mystery 2. I watched the first one when it first came out. It's mediocre at best. Not an amazing movie, but fun enough. I thought this one was slightly better. Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler are always great. It has some pretty funny moments, but it's so generic and dull. I was never bored though. I was engaged enough for this kind of typical Netflix movie. Nothing special, nothing new, really stupid, but it was fun. So I would give this one a C plus. Next up is On a Wing and a Prayer. It's an Amazon Prime original movie about a true story about a dad, his wife, and his kids. They're aboard a private plane and the pilot dies, and the dad barely has any flight experience, so he has to take over the plane. This movie got really bad reviews, but I didn't think it was that bad. I know it's a face-based movie, so some people are into those, but some of them I don't mind. I thought this one was pretty good. It has some pretty good emotions. It was pretty intense. It was very basic for this kind of movie, which is fine. Nothing new. Very predictable. Um, but it is a true story, so very compelling. I thought it was acted well. It has some really hokey and cheesy moments though. But overall, it's a pretty good time. I would give it a B. Next up, this is the latest one I saw, the Super Mario Brothers movie. And keep in mind, I've only played like a couple Mario games. I'm not like a huge, massive Mario fan. Nothing against it, I just haven't played it. I mean, like the ones did play, I really enjoy and have fun with it. I just only play a little bit of it and only a few games. So, um, when I'm watching this movie, it's like I don't know basic anything. I know all the characters' name, all the basic stuff. So I'm just want to be entertained, and that's what the movie did. I enjoyed this movie. I'm surprised this movie got like a 50 something percent Rotten Tomatoes because a lot of diehard fans love it. And I'm obviously not a diehard fan, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun movie. I saw it on IMAX. I really enjoyed the characters. Chris Pratt did a great job as Mario. Charlie Day did a great job as Luigi. Jack Black, Anya Taylor-Joy, Keegan-Michael Key. They're all great. I thought Seth Rogen was the only one that didn't work as Donkey Kong because it just sounded like him. Every other voice actor blended into their character perfectly. At first, Chris Pratt, I was surprised how much it didn't sound like Chris Pratt, and then I completely forgot about it. That animation is beautiful, very funny. And it doesn't really have a story. It's kind of just like the games. It's just flowing around, just like entertaining and good time. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this one. I didn't know what I was gonna think about this one because, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Mario, and I just want to be entertained. And I was. I thought it was a really good time. I'd also give this movie a B. Next up, Dungeons and Dragons, among Honor Among Thieves. I was excited for this one because it's the same director as Game Night, which I really enjoyed. It's one of my favorite comedies. Really funny. And I really like fantasy movies, and I love this cast. So I was pretty hyped to see this one, and I heard it was getting good reviews from the press. Yeah, this was a super fun movie. I was really entertained. It does take a little bit to get going. I was like, when it first started, I was like, I don't know what people are talking about because this is not amazing so far. But like when you get to the graveyard scene, I won't spoil it. But none of these movies I talk about will have spoilers, by the way, so you don't have to worry about that. But when it gets to the graveyard scene, that's when it kicks off, and it's like a really fun movie. I thought this movie has like some good emotional moments, really good funny moments. some really creative moments. I love the fantasy elements in this. I never played Dungeons and Dragons, but this movie makes me want to play Dungeons and Dragons because I don't know anything about it because I never played it. But from what I heard, it's pretty cool. But there's a creative scene with a portal that I thought was cool. Villains were generic, but I really like this. All the cast and the characters, they were really fun and cool. Had a great dynamic. Like all their powers and how they work together, and comedic timing and all of that. Pretty solid movie. Give it a B plus. Next up, John Wick Chapter 4. So I love the first John Wick movie. I think it's a fantastic action movie, one of my favorites. But hot take here, I don't think 2 and 3 are that amazing. I think they're almost kind of pointless. I don't think they're bad. I think they're fine movies, like B minus B movies, but I don't think they have a point. Like in the first movie, his dog dies and it's a revenge plot, and you're really into it. And then the second one, his house gets blown up, and the third one, he's just, you know, dealing with the mistake he did in the last movie, which I just don't care about the story at all in 2 and 3. I mean, really cool action sequences in those movies, but I just don't care about the story. But for me, John Wick Chapter 4 is the best one since the original because it actually has a compelling story. Again, it has amazing action sequences. And I love the side characters. That's what the 2 movies for me were missing, the last 2. The side characters were not compelling enough. They had a lot of really great characters this time around. Of Donnie Yen's character, he plays, I don't remember his character's name, so sorry. But he's a blind guy, and he's amazing, really funny and cool. Bill Skarsgård was a great villain. Mr. Nobody was cool. There's some other characters that were very interesting. This movie looked beautiful. It was 3 hours long. I felt it sometimes, but I wasn't bored. I just kind of like, oh, so I don't. I just kind of felt like it was a long movie. But yeah, I didn't particularly mind it. But it was pretty long. But yeah, it was fine. That was that long. I'm not complaining, but some people definitely won't love that. Um, it's action packed, super intense. Has some really creative shots. One shot looked like directly out of a video game, so I thought that was all really cool. I like the ending. I thought it was pretty bold. But some negatives on this one. The ending went off the rails a little bit. It got super illogical and almost laughable at one point. There's a sequence in this movie that almost made me laugh out loud because of how ridiculous it was. And I heard other people felt the same way. But besides some ridiculous and illogical aspects, I thought it was a really good movie. I'd give it a B plus, best one since the original, in my opinion. All right, next up is Air, biopic about Nike. I was really excited to see this one ever since the trailer. I knew nothing about it until I watched the trailer, and I was really excited. This is like about how Nike used to be the underdog until they got Michael Jordan to sign on. Very interesting, compelling story. Amazing cast. Matt Damon, Viola Davis, Jason Bateman, Ben Affleck, Chris Tucker. Ben Affleck directed it. Very good energy and pacing. Amazing dialogue. Just like a really cool movie. I'm glad we get movies like this. I love true story movies, especially like kind of like the underdog stories of or like, you know, the becoming of something. I think that's all very fascinating in my opinion. I love this movie. It was everything I wanted to be. There's a couple things that didn't land though. It was a little slow at some parts, and I didn't think the ending fully landed in my opinion. But besides that, it was fantastic. Amazing acting, amazing writing, directing, everything. It's a really fantastic film that everyone should check out at least once. All right, coming in number 1, big surprise is Tetris. I was excited to see this one because I'm a big Taron Egerton fan, but I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. Another true story film about the guy, I can't remember his name. I think his name is Hank. It's about him getting the rights to the game Tetris and packaging it with Nintendo. Very crazy, fascinating story. I won't spoil it, but it's in the trailer. But he has to go to Moscow and like try to get to right to it, and it involves like all this crazy insane stuff. It's like a really awesome, fascinating story. But what makes it stands out from other true story films is that it's like super upbeat and energized. I know, like I said, Era is kind of like that, but Era is more serious. This is more just fun, and this like very witty, quick, fast dialogue, like really amazing acting, directing. Taron Egerton did a phenomenal job. He. This is one of his best performances I've seen by him. He needs more work because he's amazing in Kingsman movies and he's amazing in this. He's amazing in Rocket Man. This is and it makes me actually want to play Tetris. I'm a big Tetris fan, but yeah, it's just really fascinating knowing the backstory behind this story and what he had to do to obtain these rights. And he's just like so like he doesn't know when to stop. He doesn't quit. He's like and such a cool like and I would say character aspect, but it's a real person. But it's so cool like that like he just wanted something so bad and just never stopped, and it's like very admirable. Um, I love this movie. It's fantastic. One of my favorites of the year so far. Um, uh, Definitely check it out. It's on Apple TV Plus. So not a lot of people probably watched it, but I think it's underrated. Got some pretty good reviews, but I love it. It's very creative. Has some creative choices at the end. Not many negatives. There's just like part at the end that um they're trying to like tie it into the Tetris game with sound effects and visuals. I don't think that fully worked, and some parts do slow down a little bit. But this is a super fun and interesting movie. I absolutely loved it. I would give it an A minus. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I'll be back to regular uploads at least once a week. I'll be reviewing Renfield when that comes out. I'm very excited. I'm a big Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult fan. So I'll be reviewing that when it comes out. But thank you guys so much for watching and for the support. I really do appreciate it. You guys have a great day and take care. Bye.